I'm Kathy Carr, Augsburg's Congregational President for 2021, here with Pastor Paul to share some exciting news with you.
The time we have long been waiting for has arrived, and we are preparing to return to in-person worship beginning on May 2nd.
We're grateful for all of those who have helped sustain us with worship opportunities over the past year.
And we are grateful for your ongoing participation and support of our faith community, even when we could not be together.
Our Regathering Task Force has been busy at work with our staff, ministry teams, and medical advisors to come up with a council-approved plan of action for how we can safely regather for worship.
We know that things will look different than we are used to in the past, but we remain steadfast in our commitment to provide meaningful worship focused on word and sacrament, rooted in God's grace and love.
Worship is at the center of who we are as a faith community, and our first priority as congregational leadership is to create a safe plan for how and when we gather for worship. We'll be employing the same protocols that many public facilities, including healthcare, schools, and other nonprofits, are using effectively, including the use of masks, social distancing, and sanitizing practices.
But it is also important that you help us maintain that high level of safety. As much as we would love to see you, please make sure that you are able to abide by our COVID safety protocols outlined in the registration form, and that you do not attend worship if you are not feeling well, running a high temperature, or have been exposed to anyone who may have COVID-19. We know that not everyone will be ready or able to worship in person each week, and we will continue to provide a meaningful holy worship experience via our YouTube channel, which will include portions of our live service. You can expect that we will have that to you each Sunday morning by 11 a.m.
As much as we would love to have everyone return for worship all at once together, we know that one of the most important safety factors is the capacity restrictions that are recommended by the government and the North Carolina Synod Regathering Task Force. We'll be limited to the number of people that we can have in worship on Sunday mornings to ensure safe distancing between pews. For that reason, we'll be using a registration process in the same way we have done for drive-through communion and our Christmas and Easter parking lot services.
Our registration team has worked to create an easy-to-use document using our Realm Church management software that will make registration a smooth process. You will be able to register your household for worship beginning at 8 p.m. on the Sunday evening of the week before. That means that registration for our first Sunday worship on May 2nd will begin on April 25th at 8 p.m. You will receive an email at that time with a link to the registration form.
We know that there may be Sundays that reach capacity, and we ask that you are patient with us as we work with this new way of preparing for worship. Please call the church office if you have any questions. We'll continue to work to be flexible as we review the registration process and our plans each week. You can expect that as we encounter challenges, we will work to change those as soon as possible.
You'll notice that our times for worship are different than before. For the near future, we will be worshiping at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. on Sundays. The reason that we need to do this is because one of the key medical recommendations that our medical advisors have given us. That is, that a period of 6 hours take place between the use of the same room by different groups of people. This time will allow for the cleaning of our spaces in the room to regenerate new air. Cleaning will include use of a professional atomizing machine and sanitizing high-touch surfaces.
You will also notice that certain pews will be blocked off to create the proper amount of social distancing. Our ushers who are assigned for the next few months will be specially trained to place households at the correct distances. We know you love to sit next to dear friends in worship. However, we must honor the requirements of seating by families.
Worship will be different, but still rooted in word and sacrament. We have outlined the changes to our liturgy in the frequently asked questions document attached in the link in the comments below this video. While we would love to sing and share the peace, we will need to wait until a time when it is more appropriate in the near future.
Communion will also be a little different, as you will receive the bread and wine at your pew. Also, instead of sharing the offering down each row, there will be baskets for your gifts to God's work at Augsburg in the back of the church as you enter and depart.
In our baptisms, we're promised that nothing separates us from the love of God in Christ Jesus. We have seen that at work throughout the pandemic and pray that as we begin to return to community, that we experience God's grace and your patience as our leaders work to draw us together again.
While God's love endures forever, we remind you that all of these arrangements are temporary. We will continue to monitor the conditions of the community and explore how we can continually adjust to the needs of our congregation. We ask that if you have any questions or concerns, to please feel free to contact either of us. We appreciate your feedback.
Worship is just our first step to coming back together in person. Over the next few weeks, the Regathering team will work with ministry teams and the church council to start re-engaging in other ministries in a safe and effective manner. The next goal is the return of adult Sunday school classes. Youth ministry will begin to meet outside for small socially distanced events. Keep an eye on the beacon and bulletin for updates.
In the meantime, know how much we appreciate your ongoing support and love for Augsburg and all of those we are called to serve. We will never forget this time and our shared story and look forward to the next chapter of our life together. What we have shared with you today is just a small part of our efforts. Please take the time to read the full frequently asked questions document in the link below. Peace be with you.